Greetings, travelers. I'm Isaac, and welcome back to Isaac Reviews 2024. The Lord of the Rings is a series that requires no introduction. Created in the late 1930s by legendary author J.R.R. Tolkien, the Middle-earth series has become one of the most influential franchises of the 20th and 21st centuries, and that certainly applies to its live-action movie adaptations. Released by New Line Cinema with director Peter Jackson at the helm, these films would become critical and financial smash hits, and it's easy to see why thanks to the in-depth writing and world building, unforgettable characters, impeccably designed sets and costumes, groundbreaking VFX technology, epic score, exciting action, emotional gravitas, and tons of iconic moments. I have yet to see any of the other prequels, but recently we got one titled The War of the Rohirrim. This one would be taking the series in a much different direction by being an anime film, while still being set in Middle-earth about 200 years before Bilbo Baggins found the ring. That already caught my attention, especially with Peter Jackson still being involved as an executive producer, but what I found kinda shocking is that Warner Brothers barely promoted this film whatsoever. You'd think they'd give it more attention, as this is one of their biggest franchises alongside Harry Potter and the DC universe, but when you look at how they've treated animation ever since the Discovery merger, it unfortunately starts to make sense. But the film is out now and I saw it, so how does it stand as the newest adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's magnum opus? Fine enough, but it's sadly not perfect. It sees Helm Hammerhand and his people having to make a daring last stand in the ancient stronghold of the Hornburg following an attack by the ruthless Dunlending Lord Wolf. Meanwhile, finding herself in an increasingly desperate situation, Helm's daughter Hera must lead the resistance against this deadly enemy intent on total destruction. The biggest problem I had with War of the Rohirrim is that beyond all the spectacle, there's not much to latch onto in terms of the story. There's good ideas here and there, but they aren't expanded upon in meaningful ways, and what we're left with is a formulaic experience that doesn't do much to differentiate itself from the live-action films. That, and I don't really think it needed to be 2 hours long. I believe movies should be as long as they need to be to tell their story, but you could have easily cut down 10 or 20 minutes of this movie and still get the same ideas across. Also, the characters largely feel flat with how they were developed. I will say now that the voice actors all did a great job, especially Gaia Wise, Brian Cox, and Luke Pasqualino, but the characters don't have much in the way of development beyond some okay ideas for where they could have gone. It sucks, because not only was I really excited for War of the Rohirrim, but there were some aspects of it that I thought it did really well. It's just too bad that the same attention wasn't given to the writing and characters. And the biggest highlights are easily the animation and action scenes. If this movie is worth watching for anything, it's the visual spectacle it provides. This is made all the better during the battle scenes as they have some stellar choreography, gorgeous environments, and sharp pacing which consistently had me on the edge of my seat. I also gotta give some props to the majestic score by rookie composer Stephen Gallagher, as he did an excellent job adapting the iconic themes of Howard Shore for this film. Sadly, all of that couldn't save The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim from feeling like wasted potential overall. The animation and action scenes were fantastic, the voice acting was really good, and it had some solid ideas, but the weak writing and clumsy pacing considerably bogged down the viewing experience. I'd say it's worth watching at least once if you're a fan of the Middle-earth series, but don't expect it to be anywhere near as good as the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Maybe expect its quality to be closer to that of the Hobbit trilogy, I don't know. 6 out of 10. Next time, I'll be talking about Carry On. It may be surprising that I'd say this given how bad most of Netflix's live-action movies this year have been, but I honestly really liked it. And I hope you all liked this video. If you did, then subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you all later.